What's up, everybody? We got some more questions to answer. So all of your thoughts can be answered with the correct answer. I'm just going to run down the list. I just got so many of these. The full list, by the way, is in the description below if you'd like to see exactly what the questions are ahead of time. So let's just start out with the first one. What are the most important life skills to learn? I think it really depends on what you're doing in life, what you want to do. Life skills, if you want to become a professional athlete, it'd probably be good if you got really good at playing basketball or baseball or whatever sport you want to play at. And obviously one is managing money, knowing how to manage money so that you don't lose it. That's why they say all the NFL players, a lot of them are NBA players. Once they're done, they lose a lot of their money and they go bankrupt because they don't know how to, they don't understand taxes and they make bad investments. So that probably seems to be one of the biggest. And then of course, dealing with people, it's a people world. So understanding dynamics, after dealing with enough people, you kind of figure that out. Everything else is it's up to interpretation. What are the most important life skills to learn? Being a good listener always helps. Being a good talker also helps. It's good to talk, people will listen. It's also, when people are talking, it's good to listen. So you can do both. I think one of the most important life skills to know is to know what you need to do, and if you need to, get good at it. So understanding where you want to go and what skills you need to develop in order to get there, or who you need to find, and you can utilize their skills and team up together to get wherever you're going. So I think that's probably a very big skill. Next question. All right. How do I manage stress and anxiety? That's an interesting question because people typically, to manage stress and anxiety, they'll say after a long day's work, I need a drink, or they'll go out and drink and whatever. But realistically, that just amplifies your stress and anxiety. And sometimes that's the reason why you have stress and anxiety, because, alcohol kind of washes away all the problems. If let's say even you go out on the weekend and you escape from life, rather than dealing with all the stress and anxiety, which if you fix the problems, then that would be relieved a little bit. Personally, I just, I run in the sun. Lately, I've been running 5 miles every single day in the sun. Then I'll work out too, and then I'll stretch. And with doing all that and dealing with, all my other issues and making sure, fixing all my problems, that's a pretty good way to eradicate stress and anxiety from your life. If you drink too much caffeine, you'll probably get anxiety no matter what. So you probably want to manage the intake of that if you do drink, but caffeine. So yeah, you just taking care of all your issues, because they say stress is just, all your problems building up and not taking action on things you should have done. So I think Jeff Bezos said that. So massive amount of exercise also helps, especially when it's in the sun. I don't know why. When it's in the sun, it really helps. Next question. How can I stay healthy and fit? Exercise all day long and don't eat bad. I don't really buy dessert. I don't eat dessert. I don't even buy it at the store. I don't really keep a lot of snacks around my home because I'll eat it. I don't buy Doritos because I'll probably eat the whole bag. So, slippery slope when you start buying snacks like that and whatnot. But yeah, just exercise all day long, stretch. And that's a pretty good way to stay healthy and fit. Hours a day. I'm not talking 1 hour. I'm talking hours a day. Exercise for hours every day, or even an hour or two. You build the tolerance. So that's a pretty good way to stay healthy and fit. Next question. How do I deal with negative thoughts and emotions? You know what? Negative thoughts and emotions, they do occur. They do occur. And typically, if you can get moving and get running, put it this way, I will have significantly more negative thoughts and emotions before I do any exercise in the day than after. Let's say I wake up, I'm not feeling that great. Oh, okay, I'm doubtful, maybe a little bit. I know once I start running in the sun, or running in general and exercising in general, and even if you want to drink caffeine, caffeine can help. I'm not going to lie. I made a video a little while ago about going caffeine free. Caffeine can sort of help you feel good, even though it's a drug, you got to be careful with it. And that fused with doing a lot of work, you're not really going to have as many negative thoughts and emotions. I've noticed since I got rid of alcohol out of my life, I have fewer fewer negative thoughts and emotions and stuff like that. So I only bring up alcohol just because every single person drinks it. And I don't think human beings are really meant to drink alcohol. You know, it's kind of weird. I think everybody's been like brainwashed, you know, like, oh, it's okay, let's have a drink. Like, bro, you know, that's alcohol, right? Like, you know, like we clean surfaces with that. Like, I don't think we're actually intended to drink that. I think we're intended to drink like water. Anyway. How can I achieve financial stability? Well, don't spend a lot of money. Don't spend that much money when you don't have it. You know, I used to shop at Costco, eat a lot of frozen food. That's a good way. I mean, it's not the best food, but I mean, you get some pretty cheap food at like Trader Joe's if you have a Trader Joe's around you, or just shopping at the store. You know, you don't really spend that much money. I could bring up alcohol again, you know, and you don't spend when you don't drink at all. I mean, you don't really blow money on anything. At least you don't spend as much money. You know, I spent the most money when I was drinking. Like I'd go out and drink and I'd buy stuff here and there and spend money there. And, you know, so financial stability, I mean, it doesn't really take a lot of money to be financially stable. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it really does not take that much money. And then, you know, you make more money and doing whatever you're doing, a job or business. And then you might get a better place way within reason, you know? So if things don't go well, you know, you can still afford it. So I would just say, you know, you don't want to go out above your means. You don't really want to go into debt. You don't want to buy things on debt. Like you don't need to buy things like, you know, I think you need a very large margin of safety for your lifestyle and the income that's coming in. So you got to work like hell at first, at least. You know, you got to be smart. You got to work and be smart about what you're doing. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff to, you know, things you need to do to be financially stable. But let's see. How do I develop good habits and break bad ones? So there's a few books out there actually that tell you like the power of habit, and then there's like Atomic Habits, and they actually tell you how habits are formed. And once habits are formed, they're very difficult to break because there's like five things that have to do with like habits. I forget what it is. Like a cue, a time, a place, a event immediately preceding it, and something else that creates the habit. And so once they're formed, you know, it's kind of hard to entangle. And the only way you can start new habits is once you start doing things. Like let's say, you know, you want to start, you know, doing whatever. Well, you have to reward yourself after you do it. So that kind of starts new habits, and the old habits will kind of diminish as you start making new habits. So you just have to know that you have to reward yourself with when you're trying to make new habits. Like a dog, you know, you give a dog a treat after he does a whatever. How can I live a more environmentally sustainable life? I mean, I don't know. Make a lot of money and then buy an electric car. But even they don't even make an economical sense to a certain extent. So, you know, I mean, I think environmentally sustainable life. I mean, I think it takes a lot. It's an interesting thing because it kind of takes money to live a more environmentally sustainable life. But sometimes to make money, you have to do things that are not environmentally sustainable. It's kind of weird. But you know, I mean, just be conscious of what's bad for the environment. You know, I mean, you know, recycle. What else? Recycle. Don't do bad things for the environment. I mean, I don't know things off the top of my head. So, what is the best way to invest my money? You know, a lot of people say invest in yourself. I would just say, you know, it really depends on what you want to do. I mean, not everybody wants to start a business, you know. If you know something about a stock, you know, if you know something and you think you know something about an industry and you're willing to hold that puppy for like 10 years, and you know, if it goes up or down, it's not going to phase you, you know, invest some of their money in a company that you know about. I mean, it's simple. If it goes down, buy more, you know, if it goes up, I don't know. I don't know what to do if it goes up, just hold. But I mean, there's so many ways to invest money. I mean, you could invest it and start a project. You know, you could start writing a book. You could make a product. You could throw it on Amazon. You could. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do. You just have to make something that you think people will want, and people will want to exchange money for what you have. And you have to have a way of letting them know. which takes sometimes a long period of time and even more money to let them know my marketing. So, I mean, I can't really tell you what the best way to invest your money is. You know, knowledge, investing in, you know, learning how to do things if you don't know how to do things. So, I'm sure you'll figure it out how to invest your money best. Probably not wise to buy things that are depreciating assets, or just buy things in general that you don't need until you can afford it. How can I get over my fear of public speaking? I don't know. I'll tell you, how can I get over, I started this channel. It's relatively new, and filming it and even showing, my friends my videos and posting it publicly. And, I say stuff that's like, details of my life. At first I was like, whoa, I don't really want to, it was hard. It was very hard. But you just inch into it. And then, the more you do it, it just doesn't even matter. It's like not a big deal. And then surprisingly, what happens is that when people are like, oh yeah, I watch your videos, so awesome. Oh my gosh, I'm going to try that. You're like, damn, okay. Wow. Okay. Well, people like it. Well, let's do more of it. And it makes you more confident that what you're doing, people want to see. So, I think you just got to dive in and, get torn apart at first, maybe. And then, it'll work out if you just keep with it. Let's see. How do I make the right decisions? You know what? If you have a clear and sober mind, our brains are really wired kind of sometimes, especially when we listen to our gut, to make decisions correctly. Sometimes we don't make the correct decisions when we're not in our right sense of mind, or we're not feeling good. If you're feeling really good, your body is in a good vibrational state to know where to go, as a GPS map. So sometimes, you just make the wrong decisions. It's going to happen. And then you learn from them. That's why it's best to learn from other people's mistakes and listen and watch what other people did before you and older than you. I've made mistakes, just little ones, because they're going to happen because, so many events are sometimes happening, and sometimes we just do things we're not thinking. So, as long as you minimize the amount of mistakes that you make, then it'll be okay. And as long as you also don't make any extremely large mistakes where, I don't even want to talk about it, you don't, then, you'll be able to recover. But so let's see, how can I improve my memory and focus? How can I'll be honest, I'm pretty sharp now that I exercise, be in peak physical form. Don't drink alcohol so your brain operates faster. Exercise a lot, and you'll probably be sharp as hell. How can I deal with disappointment? Next question. How can I deal with disappointment and frustration? God, disappointment and frustration is difficult. How do you deal with frustration and disappointment? You know what? When I'm frustrated and I'm disappointed, I usually just go exercise. I'm like, okay, I need to go to the steam room. Okay, I need to work out. I need to just get all that frustration and nuisance out. And I need to run until I just don't want to run anymore. I need to work out, or like I said, just do something to occupy yourself physically. And then you'll just tire yourself out, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, well, now I'm not really frustrated anymore. I'm tired because I just worked out so hard. Whether it's a marathon or whatever it is. And things in time will come, and, they'll correct themselves. So it's not that, frustration and disappointment is normal, especially when you're striving and going after big things. How can I find inner peace and contentment? I think by achieving the goals that you've set forth and working towards them over a very long period of time and conquering all of your demons, you will attain inner peace and contentment. And honestly, being around the ocean. I just went to this dog park today in La Jolla over by the ocean. There were a lot of dogs and people there over right in front of the ocean. Man, I'll tell you what, that was a very peaceful environment. So going on walks, like I said again, massive amounts of exercise, conquering your demons, having a clean house, clean car, a very nice environment where you are, that will all lead to inner peace. On the other side, chaos is when you go crazy, you go out, you just go crazy, so you're not going to get inner peace and contentment from that. Let's see. What is the best way to manage my time? Well, at first, it really depends on the value of your time at first, because if you don't really have any money and all you have is your time and your brain and your body, you kind of have to give up all of it for whatever you are willing to get in money at the time in order to survive for as long of a period as you can until your time becomes more valuable. So you want to break also your time into like physical exercise. How many hours are you able to physically work out every day, work every day, and then maybe socialize with real people, not in front of a camera. I'm not saying you guys aren't real people, but like real people. So, you actually have like a socialization in real life. And you just want to have kind of a balance. I mean, you'll feel it. You'll be like, oh, I need to work all day for the next however long. Or, okay, I've been doing that. Okay, let me squeeze in some time with this and that and this. And so you'll know by being happy or unhappy with what you're doing. And so you'll figure out the balance of how to manage your time. All right, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Those are my 14 questions that I wanted to answer for you guys. If you liked the video at all, please like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. And if you have any questions for me, you can put it in the description and I'll try to write it down and answer the questions. And I'll respond probably regardless. So thanks for watching the video.